Hey, what is going on, guys? Edward here, back with another video. And in this episode, I want to discuss about propulsion blocks. I'm going to try to make it very simple because it is actually very simple to understand. You shouldn't be confused or having too much confusion. If you feel like you're having a lot of confusion, you're probably doing something wrong. So you maybe need to rewatch. Okay. Now, right here, what is a propulsion block? A propulsion block is basically an auto block of another block of another auto block. So let me explain what I mean. So what are we having right here? We're having some sort of accumulation in this area. Okay, this is GBP JP1. It doesn't matter the pair actually. Right here we're seeing the price is, it looks like it's actually sweeping now this liquidity right here, right? This accumulation. We have a sweep. So if we are interested in looking for buys at this point, I'm going to mark up a few lines right here. This is going to be my sell side liquidity. Right now, this candle right here that is sweeping the opening price right there, this is normally the order block, right? If you haven't seen my order blocks video, go at the top right corner right here. I'm going to leave you the link so you can watch it, so you can understand what an actual order block is. Now, after watching this one, after watching that one, come back to this particular video right here. So an order block would be here. Now, what I'm looking for is for price to, if price really wants to go up after this sweep, I want to see price actually closing above this opening candle. Okay. Once it closes above, that sort of validates my order block. At this point, it's not a valid order block until it closes up. So here we go. Explosive move almost immediately, right? It's an immediate reaction after the sweep price is coming back up very strong, right? So what do we have? We have a confirmation of an order block right here, okay? Just right away, right there, you could be placing a buy if you wanted to. Stop loss just right here. Take profit 1 to 2, 1 to 3, whatever. You could be targeting or using the Fibonacci extension. Now, this video is not about order blocks, right? It's about propulsion blocks. Now, let's say you were missing this position. Right? You're not getting in because you were not here in the computer or on your phone watching the charts, right? So watch this. So the next candle will will come into the order block, activating the order block. Okay, so if you were technically watching the charts, boom, your entry would have been activated already with the actual order block. Okay, now again, let's say we're not here, right? Now the propulsion block will be created of another order block. So the first order block that we have is this one, right? So now we just have to wait. Look at what's happening right here automatically. This tap, this bearish candle tapping into the order block and now giving me a bullish candle. This candle closing above the opening price of this bearish candle. That's an order block. That's another order block, right? In this case, that's going to be our propulsion block. Okay. You see, it's basically one order block right here formed off of another order block. It needs to be tapping into the previous one. So the first one, the first order block was right here. The second order block is created when price comes in, tap into the order block, and then you see the formation. You actually see that bearish candle against that bullish candle. The price closed above the opening price of this one. Similar like this one, like right here. You see the to confirm that this is an actual order block after the sweep, you have to wait for a body of the candle to close above. When that candle closes above, that validates my order block. So you see right here, you're having two order blocks basically. But the propulsion block is the second one. Okay, we're just going to call it propulsion block is the second order block. Okay, so again, if you happen to have missed this opportunity, and or you are just turning on your computer, or you just want additional confluence, an additional let's say extra confidence. Okay, so let's say you didn't want it to get in here because you're not fully convinced that the price is actually going to start pushing up, right? all you have to do is then wait for a propulsion block to be formed. And once that's formed, you can expect that propulsion block to get activated, to be very sensitive, right? So you could be entering right there. Your stop loss could be below this low, and your take profit again, 1 to 2, 1 to 3, whatever here, whatever you want to do in that case. So you want to aim this high, fine, okay. But if you want to at least I would recommend at least a 1 to 2 risk to reward, or as I mentioned, using the Fibonacci from the low to the high, just using the extension, the Fibonacci extension, and you could target those highs. So let's see what the price is going to do from there. Tapping in and go. Okay. So that's the propulsion block. If you look at it, if you actually pay attention right here, the market, the price is creating another order block right here. This two down close candle, once the price pushes up and this candle closes above the opening price of this one, that's another order block. Okay. That's another order block. So you see, in this move to the upside, price actually created 3 order blocks. And it's probably going to continue doing that. You see, this is another order block. There's another order block, right? This is probably another order block, but it's not an order block until the next candle closes above. You see what's happening right there? So you're going to ask me, Eduardo, but are all those propulsion blocks? In this case, we're going to just pay attention to the first one. Okay, you want to look for a re-entry right here in this order block, fine. You want to look for a re-entry in this order block, fine. It's up to you, right? Now, but again, the propulsion block is created after the first tap. After the first order block is being created, when the price taps in, pushes up, you actually happen to have the formation. I'm going to give you another example in a minute, but this particular example, you see tapping in, bullish candle right there, closing above the opening price. It's creating another order block. Now in this case, that's going to be my propulsion block. Okay, the stop loss doesn't necessarily has to go all the way down here, because price has technically, it's just starting to take off already. Okay, so you could be looking to place the stop loss below this recent low right here. Let me give you some examples, another example here, so you can be more clear. Actually, just right here, without going too far, we see that recently price has swept a lot of liquidity right here. Now, this trade would have been probably a failure. You see, not all the time it's going to be doing it right. Probably this is not the best example, but if you look at it, yeah, we have actually a failure. This was an order block, price pushes up, but then fails to react in this actual order block, push up, and actually goes lower and creates one more low, right? And then price tries to push, fails, creates another low. Second sweep right there, right? Now, after that sweep, price pushes up. Now, look at what it's doing right here. This is what I'm saying, that sometimes if you don't feel confident enough, like jumping in, let's say here, sometimes you may not be feeling confident, or you don't trust, right, what the market is doing at the moment. You have that sweep, price pushes up, closing above the opening price, but this one, that's an order block, right? So sometimes what you want to do is you want to wait for a propulsion block. So look for that extra confluence, okay, and not just entering right away. Just placing a buy limit order right away and doing that, right? Sometimes you may not feel like it. Even though it's pushing up, you see, right now it's activating the order block, but boom, stopping you out. Okay. Now, look, if you would have been a bit more patient, look what the price actually did. So, okay, I get it. Creates another low right here. Now, of course, my order block would be, now in this case, it would be somewhere here. This is the market structure shift. But the first order block would be here. But remember, it's not an order block until it gets broken to the upside. Okay, so let's see what we have. We have a broken zone right here, right? Now, let's wait. Again, you don't feel confident because you just got stopped out on this one. You don't feel confident to jump in right away. Okay, well, don't. right? You don't have to get in right away and go like that, right? You can just wait for the propulsion block to be formed, right? So let's try to look. Price is tapping into the order block, and now it looks like it's starting to push. You see what it's doing right there? It just created a second order block. So this sort of gives you that extra confluence. Now, what you can do is, because you saw that that candle already closed above, you have that validation. This is my propulsion block. You could be placing your stop loss just right there and take your take profit, let's say, to this previous high, right? Now, let me mark it up here. Propulsion block. Let's see what price is going to do. Tapping in. You see almost an immediate reaction. Okay. Normally, the proportion blocks we expect to be very sensitive, to be like as soon as it taps in, it goes. You see, and it's even a better risk to reward. You see, this is a 1 to 4 R. If you would have entered right here, I mean, this one would still play out, but your risk to reward in this particular case, it would have been like a 1 to 2 or so. Or let's say you want to use the fib, right? Use your fib from the low to the high. You could be targeting somewhere here, anyways. But you see, this would still be a 1 to 2.5. Let's see if it actually goes up or comes back. Okay, right? So smashing that 1 to 2.5. But if you would have entered on that proportion block, I'm not saying the proportion blocks are going to work all the time, guys, okay? Probably this would have been the entry 1 to 6R, right? Beautiful, right? A lot better. But you see that the first one right here that we got actually did not play out, the first order block. So are you scared? Are you having fear that the first order block is not going to work? Well, probably wait for that first order block to get tapped in and then wait for your propulsion block to be formed. You're kind of entering a little late, but you see that going in a little late doesn't mean that you're going to miss the entire position. You know what I mean? I hope it makes sense. So let me get another example. Just right here, we have recent lows being taken. We have sell side liquidity, right? Now look at this. So price from here, this would have been an order block. Price drops, tries to push up, and drops again. That means, you see, it's sweeping one more low. That means that the order block that was supposed to be here, because price is breaking now another low, is going to transfer from this low to this opening price. Okay, that's going to be my order block. But the order block, again, the order block is validated when a candle closes above. So let me go here, right? At this point, what do we have? Price never sweep this low. Okay, so we're coming from this high to this low. You have 1, 2, 3 bearish candles, right? So the opening price, it's my order block. Is this candle right there just tapping into the order block or the line of the order block? Is this a validation? No. Okay, we need a closure. So we wait, boom, that closure right there, we're definitely having an order block now. Okay, now it's up to you again. As I said, do you feel confident enough to take the first order block or you don't? If you don't feel confident enough, then you don't place a buy limit order right away. You just wait for that order block to get activated. Boom, it's getting activated, right? Now, as soon as it gets activated, you want to see now a reaction. That reaction, you want the next candle to close above this. Okay, so in this case, that would be my propulsion block. You see what I mean? So let's see if we got it. Oh, cannot. Okay, well, it did close. I mean, it did close above. So that's fair. That's fair enough. So in this case, you want to enter. Okay, you could be entering right there, placing your buy limit order at the order block right there at that propulsion block, your stop loss just below the actual order block right there. And then the take profit, okay, which you could be aiming this size, right? So you see, you're kind of entering a little late. Well, let's see if we get tapped in or not. Haha. You see what happened? You did not get tapped in. And this is the reality, okay? This is the reality. This is why you have to backtest a lot. It did create a propulsion block, but sadly, the price did not come and touch you, right? It did not activate the entry. So the only order block that would play out is actually the first one. So this brings up the question, which of these two would I take? Well, you're going to have to figure that out for yourself. Okay? Probably, if you don't feel confident enough, you enter on the first order block risking very little, risking, let's say, a 0.50% of your account in this trade. Now, in the second order block or in that propulsion block that is being created, if you feel more confident on that one, now that the price actually confirmed, right? It validates the reaction on the first order block, now pushed up, and you have that propulsion block right there. You could be risking maybe a 1% or even a 2% risk, yeah, 2% of your account in that particular trade. Okay, I mean, it's up to you, as I mentioned. Okay, because I know this is going to bring a lot of questions. Not all the times these propulsion blocks are going to get activated or they're going to play. You can still get stopped out on this one. Okay, so don't get me wrong. All right. I hope it makes sense. I hope you guys understood. If you still have some questions, please let me know. If you want to see more of this, and if you want to see the entire series of ICT that I have, I'm going to leave a playlist here on the top right corner for you so you can check it out. It's very simple. I tried to simplify this since ICT is not easy at all. And so, yep, that's basically it, guys. Thanks again for watching. Give it a big thumbs up. It motivates me to keep posting content for you guys more often. And I really appreciate your likes, your support, and share. Love it. Thanks again, guys, for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Take it easy.